This video is brought to you by Craven's Comic Books and Collectibles. Check out their weekly live show, auction, and sale at facebook.com/Craven's Comics every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can check out their inventory at cravenscomics.com. Craven's Comics, for the comics you crave. Welcome to the program, Humberly González.
Yay, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. I know I was saying to you before the show started that I was really sad to hear that Jupiter's Legacy is not coming back for a second season. And we might have something to do with it. We did announce a Jupiter's Legacy month, and we had a bunch of guests lined up. There were actors from Jupiter's Legacy. We took a week off last week, and then we had you on this week.
You jinxed us.
Yeah, taking the week off. That's what happened. It was the week off.
See, I blame
just
Andrew.
Kept working.
Yeah, well, Andrew books the guests. It's all his fault.
Oh, thank goodness I have someone to blame.
Yeah. We all blame Andrew now. That's
yeah, there you go. Whew. Okay, I can probably go to sleep now.
There you go.
No more anxiety.
Glad I was able to lift that off your conscience.
Thank you. So kind.
But we actually at the beginning of May we had Jess Salguero on the show, and she was talking about how the Team Hutch, the team in the van, you guys were like a close-knit group, and you guys were like you were like a team in real life during the filming of that show as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember when I finally found out who the other roles were and the people who I was going to be acting with. I'm pretty sure we all started writing each other on Instagram, and we decided to meet at the park prior to shooting. So we just had like our own little picnic, and we were all like already friends. It was so wild how that happens sometimes, that they're strangers, but at the same time, you feel this connection because you know what you're about to embark on. And it felt that way. Like we had a great energy, and regardless of the future of the show, like this show gave me those connections and those friendships and a family. So no regrets. Like I'm just so grateful I met them.
Yeah, like honestly, like we kidded there about the show being canceled, but it is unfortunate because it doesn't allow us to see any more of your adventures. Like I was really hoping for Team Hutch to come back and and enjoy what was going on.
For sure.
Like regardless of what is the reality right now, had there been talk about like before that you guys would have been all coming back into season 2?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think we would have been featured a lot more in the seasons to come, according to the comic books and our storyline. Right. Like we were actually quite, we were major characters throughout the whole series and through the whole storyline. So there was just so much more that I was excited to explore with my character and everybody else. But I guess not everything lasts forever, and that's fine. At least we have this season to look back on. But it is unfortunate. I mean, there's so much that is out of our control. But one thing I'm sure of is that, the artists involved gave it their best. And there were so many incredible performances that no matter what, I think this really at least allowed us to show what we can do. And it was great exposure, and it was great to kind of connect us to those roles and to potentially be part of a series like that in the future as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I know that this series also had some firsts for you as well, including, was it on the first day that you were doing wire work in a fight?
Oh my gosh. We did the outside of the van scene on day one, which was, I think, a 3-day night shoot. It was wild. But no, it wasn't the first day, thank goodness. What's actually funny? It was on the very last day of the entire series that I did my wire work. It was like, essentially, I was wrap day. And it was so bittersweet because there was nobody else from my cast there. It was just me, the stunt team, and, the camera crew, everybody else. So it was just kind of like happy wrap. And it was just me on set. But they tend to do those last because they're more technical. They don't require like a storyline or anything like that. So, but it was still a first for me, and I hope to do more because doing wires and green screen and all of that was so new to me, and it was something that I'm sure that even as an audience watching movies, you're like, I wonder how they did that, and I got to actually live it. So that was exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, and it, that's obviously like it sounds, like to your point, it sounds really easy to be like put in a wire harness and and then they spin you around, but I'm looking at what that's like, the physicality of that, and then and we've also seen you like say like for example like on Utopia Falls, you're doing like this crazy dance choreography. Like you seem to be really enjoying the physical aspects of performance, right? Is that something that you really look forward to as part of the roles?
Absolutely. I mean, I come from a theater background. So for me, theater means being completely aware of your entire instrument, meaning not just your face and this like ability to emote on camera, but your voice, your breath, your movements, like everything. When I went to theater school, we trained even in dance. Like we did every form of dance. We became animals. We were like shouting at walls and we worked on our voice. So I felt like I had so much more to offer. So when I get parts that are very physical and they require a lot more than just, a close up of my face, which is also very beautiful. And it's something that film taught me. I was so used to being so alive and awake that I could reach, the last seats in an amphitheater. Like that was my thing, which is why I love doing video games too. Like it's very much like theater based. It really requires you to be so aware of so much of yourself, which is why I love it. And it is a challenge. Trust me, even doing the dance rehearsals for Utopia Falls, like it was not easy. We trained a lot. I was sore for like 3 days on our first rehearsal, but even wires, like I was a little anxious at first, I remember, because I have a stunt double in a way that they do it and they show me how it's going to be done and what I'm going to be doing. I'm like, I'm literally running and then someone is holding this rope and they yank it, which makes me fly. And while I'm in the air, I'm supposed to do this choreography that I just learned on the day. So it's just like, wow, this is next level. And I kind of wish I took more videos of that. I wish I told someone like, hey, can you record me doing this? Because I did it. I was just so in the moment that it was just an experience and that was it.
It's interesting you bring up video because there's one video that you did recently share that I'm not sure if it was from the Jupiter's Legacy shoot or not, but it was a very cold day on set and you were given a parka that Margot Robbie wore when she was in town, and you were covered in a giant Scarface blanket.
I do. And you know what's weird? That Scarface blanket is actually very popular on sets because that was not the first time I saw that blanket on a set. And I was like, wait, is this a thing? Do they just get these Scarface blankets for actors? Is it because they're really warm? Like, where can I get one? No joke. I've seen it before. So I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is a milestone for an actor. Like I get to wear someone's jacket who is an idol of mine, like Margot Robbie. I think she must have been doing
Suicide Squad
in Toronto, and literally on the tag it said Margot, and I was like, oh my god, I've never taken this off. But yeah, it was just a really cool day and they gave me that and they were like, do you want a blanket? They had a little heater by my feet and I was like, what's going on right now?
So that's funny. You don't take any video of you doing this amazing wire work, but
I took that one picture. I mean, my priorities are obviously all over the place. Yeah.
You know what? Like I probably would take a lot of photos if I was wearing a jacket that Margot Robbie wore. Although,
right? Like, thank you.
Yeah, right. But I think a lot of people would like just to see because I'm 6'1" and I'm not Margot Robbie size. So that would have been like
you would
it would have been like your fingers going through the armhole.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. A little T-Rex.
Yeah.
I would pay to see that. So, let's find this jacket. Let's go.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh,
and while we're doing it, we'll get the Scarface blanket and you can take it home.
Honestly, I don't know what's up with the Scarface blanket. I hope that when I share this, other actors can come to tell me that I'm not crazy, that this is a thing, because someone else on a set that I was on recently also had it. And I literally made the connection and I was like, wait a second, is this a thing? I don't understand. And why is it Scarface? I mean, it is a very warm blanket, so maybe that's just it, but who knows? Who knows?
God, yeah, no, he just, the blanket is there to say hello to the little friend that's inside it.
Apparently.
There you go.
That's great. Full circle.
Exactly. So we got an email in from Katie D who writes, I have a question for Dr. Ivy Turcotte. I have a rash. And then love her.
I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to fake a lot of sickness just so that I can attend to them. And I don't blame them. It's fine.
Good. Now
I'll just tell you that you're
do.
doing fine. I'll give you a lollipop and send you on your way.
There we go. You're very caring doctor. You are.
Of course.
I'm feeling a little sick now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening.
God.
It's starting. Are you sure it's not COVID? Oh my God. No.
Yeah, I was about to say, the downside is we really can't make those jokes.
We really can't make jokes anymore about being sick. Oh no.
Well, we can.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I know. Doing it.
I know. It's worth the risk, damn it. Yeah. I'm getting a fever. There we go.
Hey, I've got my vaccine, that's
there you go. At least we know you'll survive. Me too.
Yeah.
Vaccine life.
I love how you put at least we know you'll survive. At least. Nothing.
At the very least.
Yeah.
That is the guarantee of the vaccine. It doesn't mean we won't get COVID. At least I won't be
Yeah.
No, I got dark real fast.
That's okay.
We were laughing and then it got really quiet.
That's kind of the way the show goes. It's like there's laughter and then we get really dark and introspective and then we come back to laughter. There we go. We're
okay,
good.
That's fair. That's life.
Oh my God. With Nurses season 2 upcoming, this is Ivy Turcotte. You have a very young face, so you end up playing a lot of teenage characters. This is your first big professional. You're playing a professional in a show.
Thank you. That's exactly how I felt when I booked this. And then at the same time, I was so terrified because I've never played a doctor, and I knew the second I booked this that I was going to have to learn some doctor lingo, and I had to kind of throw it out and say it like I've been doing this for 13 years.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, it is exactly that. I remember one of my first scenes on set, and I had to perform. Okay, I'm gonna remember this word. Trichothyrotomy. I believe that's it. Anyway, it took me a week to learn that word and to just have it be second nature. Oh yeah, trichothyrotomy, whatever. Administer whatever drugs, 17 drugs I have to name. Oh my goodness. Listen, it's true. I usually play teenagers. This is the first time that I got to play something that was a lot more authoritative, and she has a career. She's a career woman, and she has a really interesting storyline, very complicated. There's a lot that happens. So I'm very excited because this really is so different from anything I've ever played. It really showcases a different part of my craft and my skills. So I'm excited to show the world this role because it was a big challenge for me, and I really had to dig into different parts of myself and the work. So yay. Look, Mom, I'm a doctor. She was worried about me. Look at me now.
See, I honestly I know we over the years we've spoken to people that have been worked in science fiction and and done medical dramas, and I'm it's 50-50 when you talk to people about how difficult the lingo can be, because science fiction is not even real. Obviously, they just make up words, but in medicine, it almost feels like all the words are made up anyways. Right, because it's
true, and you can't fake it. That's the thing. If I got the name of that wrong, someone's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Oh yeah.
So the pressure was on that. I was like, I can't mess this up. I really can't.
Did you have
had to.
Do you have a real strong Latin game now?
Right, I know all of the names. Well, honestly, the show was great because we actually had real trained medics on set that. I wasn't just winging it, oh, cool. How do I draw blood from this person's hand? I actually had someone show me the ropes. They showed me everything that I needed to know so that I could do it properly. So I actually learned a lot from this role, and they were actually real ways to save a life. So all I'm trying to say is I got you.
So perfect.
All the more
list.
reason to now fake a fever.
I can save lives now.
Yeah, so you're on our apocalypse list now, so that in case anything goes wrong, we have somebody who knows some medicine.
I got you. I can perform a trichothyrotomy and I can save your life.
That's good.
This is what we needed. This is what we needed in this.
This is what we needed, exactly.
Oh man.
I'm glad this list is shaping up well, which is good. I think we got a good team. I do.
There you go.
We got an email in from Janice P, who writes, was it Brolin nailed it? You really don't see a lot of him around, but he's a very good actor. I would rate this. This is a early review of the film we're reviewing.
I was confused for a second.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I was
who?
like, so thank you very much for your review, Janice P. You rated Sweet Tooth a 7. We'll be talking about that a bit later. But of course, another big show that's been very big this year on the old Netflix is Ginny and Georgia.
Yeah.
And Sophie Sanchez has become like the most beloved character of the interwebs.
I know. I'm still in shock, to be honest. Very humbled, very grateful.
Yeah, and I think it's because her and Max's relationship, is so authentically like a teenage relationship. Like it's like the kind of relationship you'd see, in real life. Whereas, like again, Ginny and Georgia, Georgia's there. The adults are there to have the sensational moments,
Right.
and the kids are having the more of the realistic high school stuff. And just Max. It's kind of funny about the show that your character is even bigger than you being on screen, because Max, she just keeps talking about Sophie every time she's not on screen.
She's like, okay, can we just keep talking about Sophie now?
Yeah.
I know. And like when I auditioned for this role, I had no idea that the role would be this. When you get an audition, it just says recurring character, which that could mean anything. It could be 2 episodes because she's in one and then she recurs in another. I really had no idea what her storyline would be. I hadn't read the full scripts. I hadn't read anything. I just had 2 scenes to go off of. And it was one of these things where like, I read the scene, I auditioned for it, let it go, didn't think of it. And even when I got the role, I didn't think that it was going to be like this life-changing role and how impactful it would be to the world. And it wasn't until I was actually like going through the motions and I was on set and they kept asking me back, and I had more episodes and ended up being in 8 episodes out of the whole series. I was like, that's so wild. And you just really never know. But this character really, it like, I just put myself at the center of it. And it was just so great that it just kind of felt like it was Humberly auditioning for the role of Humberly. And then her name is Sophie. It kind of felt that way. So it's just so great. It was a big lesson, and it was, especially as an actor, that sometimes I put energy and so much like desperate want onto some things that are just not meant to be, and then the roles that are meant to be for me just kind of happen, and I didn't even try. It feels, even though I did, it was so organic, I guess. So it was a lesson on like, you really truly never know what's for you. You just have to trust that they know what they're doing and the casting know what they're doing, and they saw something in me. And I remember, Sarah said that, and they were like, from the second we saw her tape, like we knew that was Sophie. So I was like, what? That's so cool. Like, how did she know?
That's very awesome. And I know that a lot of queer teenagers are really finding a strong connection with that story as well. I think because it's treated properly, it's treated normalized, as opposed to trying to make it a sensational moment. And I was actually so amazed with the show just on a whole with the writing, because you don't usually see that, with a show that does have like some crazy scenes with Georgia and, screwing over the PTA basically and things like that, to have this grounded high school story in there as well. I was really amazed at the balance of that show. It must have been a delight working with the showrunners for that.
It was phenomenal. And, I had never had an experience where they were so involved. Like Deborah and Sarah were there on set pretty much every day I was there. And not just that, they would ask us to hang out outside of set. We would go to karaoke, we would have dinners, we would get together. And I could tell that this meant so much for them, because it was their first baby. It was Sarah's first show, Deborah's first time show running. So for them, they really wanted to make this an enjoyable experience. And they wanted it to seem so real that these relationships were really happening and developing at the same time, because it was true. Like we all met for the first time on set. So the fact that it turned out the way it did, I think it's a testament to everyone's just passion and dedication to these roles. I think everyone was just so excited to be a part of this family.
Definitely.
Yay. So I'm like, in my field, it's true. I feel so grateful to them every day and so happy that I got this opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, it always amazes me who, like, the characters, or or shows that people pick up on, and it's one of those things, like, especially in this world where we have so many
so much content.
It's crazy. Like, I watch a lot of television, so I'm part of the problem. So, but that's okay. But no, it's so fascinating to see, like, the characters that really pick up, like your character did, and for you, like, do you ever have any sense of the character, like, oh, this character might be, like, popular with with people out there that are watching it, or are you just kind of like, you're always, like, completely surprised?
I am always completely surprised, to be honest. I mean, I think the first queer character I played was Vanessa and In the Dark. And for me, it already felt big because that was my first big, like, network series, and I was recurring. So that was honestly, like, opening the door for me to what it meant to be on a big set, to be, to have more money put into a show, and the care that it, just how much work it takes. And from then it was like Brooklyn, which to me, that role, I think I had the most attachment to. It being my first lead series regular, I got to sing and dance, and I was playing a queer character that no one had to say, oh, she's X, Y, and Z, whatever label. It was just normal. And that for me, I think, started this journey of, like, I am so happy that, I don't get to have a say on which characters I book, but I have this joke ongoing that I'm like, the camera knows. The camera sees the real me, and they're like, oh yeah, she's so gay, let's give her this role. And it was this thing of, like, I was always very afraid to completely own it and say it and own my queerness. And I've said this before, but I really feel like I truly found myself through these characters, and I never really know what impact it's going to have, because I always am very fearful that it's going to be judged, or it's going to be seen in a light that, maybe it's through my eye that I'm like, oh, there's maybe some, like, shame attached to it or something, because I'm not fully out, quote unquote. Whoever knows me, I think, like, my personal friends and everything, they're like, this is so you, but I'm like, it just doesn't feel that way, especially when I haven't, like, fully told everybody, and it's going to be like a shock or something. But I don't know, these characters were all so special to me, and for them to be loved, it was always a surprise, a very pleasant surprise. And I'm so happy that they are loved, because I think it allows me to accept myself and love them too, which means loving myself. So it's kind of like this beautiful circle of life.
That's awesome. That's really good. Yeah. Now, before we finish up here, there's two important questions I have to ask.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Summer is almost here. Have you picked up that longboard yet?
How did you know I wanted to get one? Wait,
I know these
who
things.
are you talking to? Oh my goodness. So I tried longboarding for the first time because my friend brought it for a photo shoot, and I hopped on it and I was like, this is for me. I slackline and I indoor-board, and I feel like longboarding is somewhere in the middle, and I can kind of add those two skills to it. The answer is no, not yet. Not yet, because I'm waiting. I'm actually leaving to go shoot a film in North Bay, which is like this little place in Toronto. So once I'm back, I will make sure so that I can go to the Toronto Islands and longboard there, because they have the best pavements. It's so smooth, and I can just, like, put on my music and fall without being embarrassed. Instead of it being in the middle of Queen Street, like, not gonna happen.
It's funny.
Hey,
I've been to the
medical training to fix yourself then too, right? You can.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. And I've been to the Toronto Islands and fallen many times, and I don't even have a longboard. So.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So that makes me feel good.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. And then the one other thing I wanted to bring up is that, some people, when they're going to sleep, they like to listen to some chimes or some wind sounds or some soft music. You like to put on horror films?
I do. You know what I put on last night? The Visit, which is a great horror film.
It's great. Yeah, that's one of the best.
Creepy, and it's like a very slow burn, but you're always at the edge. And I fall asleep to it. I was falling asleep at the part where they're under the house playing hide and seek, and the grandma is like coming out with the hair and like all giggly and shit. Like, it's terrifying. And I'm like, cozy. I'm turning it off and going to bed. Wow. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't know. I love horror films. I rewatched the whole Hue series like on Netflix. I put on a horror movie before bed every single time.
That's awesome. That's
I don't know why. I really enjoy them.
Well, that's very cool.
It is. That is strange. Yes, but but super cool.
Thanks. I don't know. There's something about like knowing that it's not real. I mean, sometimes I do get like weird dreams, but are they related? I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm just tempting life and I'm like, hit me with your scariest things and see if I could like overcome it.
See,
who knows?
I immediately get all the nightmares. That's why I'm a daylight watcher. That's
right. You like watch SpongeBob before bed or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's right now it's been DS9 for the last like 6 weeks, but yeah,
nice.
I usually try to watch something a little bit more on the fun side, for me personally. But then of course I listen to like industrial rock and heavy metal when I'm sleeping because I can't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like silence, so
drowns out all the other.
I don't either. That's why I need to have a fan at like full speed.
Yeah, see
that or ASMR. Like I love ASMR videos. They just like do your hair and they're talking like a very soft voice. And I'm like, oh yeah, give me a facial or like do my hair. Give me a haircut before bed. And I just fall asleep listening to like these people's voices and whisper. Well,
there we go. So now you just need to find the perfect ASMR horror film. That's what.
Wait.
You know what?
Maybe I could start this.
Yeah.
Is that even a thing?
You're gonna.
It's die. Like. You're gonna die in 7 days.
Yeah.
A movie.
Be like, I'm so calm but scared at the same time. Oh, it's fantastic.
So relaxing.
Yeah, you should definitely book a meeting and start writing that. That's gonna be good.
So ridiculous and so funny.
No, totally. Well, I look forward to the next projects you have coming. I know you've been working on a film with Netflix and you got a bunch of other stuff going on. And I really hope that even though where she was left off in the series, I'd still like to see Sophie come back for season 2 of Ginny and Georgia.
Well, you may or may not get her. I guess we'll have to wait.
We'll have to wait and see. Definitely. But you've been a delight to talk to, and we'd love to have you back on again to talk about any of your other projects. It's been great.
Absolutely.
All right.
We're friends now. I'm your doctor, remember? Like,
there we go.
Yes. Check-ins.
That's right. That's right. So it's good. It's funny. The next thing we're going to review is a post-apocalyptic thing. So if we ever get into that situation, we know who to call. Definitely.
Yeah. There you go.
Number one on our
wait, I started watching the show, The Stand, Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. Post-apocalyptic. It's a bit too close to home because it is about a flu type disease that's going around and it kills everybody. But I still enjoy it. It's great.
Yeah. These flus, they make a lot of appearances in these post-apocalyptic.
I'm sure they do because we are organic beings, and that will probably be our demise. But we're still here.
There we go. We're still here for now. But we're gonna have to let you go. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you soon. Maybe longboarding on the Toronto Islands. We'll keep an eye out for you. You can
just be standing there falling over.
That's right. Yes,
exactly. That's what he does. That's it.
Yes.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Bye, Humberly.
Bye.